Welcome back to BuzzOwl 9, your source for societal, celebrity, and sports commentary. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising geopolitical stories of our time: why Greenland has become the hottest piece of real estate in global politics. We're also diving into the 3 social media currents shaping how people create, share, and express themselves online, from Drake-powered nostalgia to imperfect beauty aesthetics to Instagram's newest rulebook. This trend isn't just a sound, it's a collective diary. The rise of the wabi-sabi aesthetic, a random king of the hill clip, has sparked a full-blown cultural moment. Creators are embracing wabi-sabi, the Japanese concept of finding beauty in imperfection, to showcase imperfect products, personal quirks, flaws that feel human. It's the anti-perfection trend, a soft rebellion against filters, Facetune, and algorithmic polish. A reminder that sometimes the crack is the charm. Instagram's new hashtag rule. Instagram has officially capped hashtags at 5 per post to fight spam and shift toward AI-driven content discovery. This means creators now have to be intentional, no more hashtag stuffing. The platform wants quality signals, not keyword clouds. This change is small, but it's going to reshape how posts get discovered, ranked, and recommended. Creators opened the year with the Slime You Out recap trend, using Drake's month-by-month lyrics to narrate their 2025 journeys. As the trend peaked, feeds shifted toward the wabi-sabi aesthetic, celebrating imperfect products and personal quirks. Closing the cycle, Instagram implemented its 5 hashtag limit, pushing creators toward intentional posting and AI-driven discovery. Drake's track Slime You Out has become the defining sound of January 2026, with creators using the month-by-month lyrics to recap their entire 2025 in raw, emotional reels. Instead of polished highlight reels, people are posting messy, honest, month-by-month recaps, heartbreak, glow UPS, breakdowns, breakthroughs. It's nostalgic, but with teeth. Let's start at the beginning, because this story didn't start with President Trump. For more than a century, American leaders have quietly dreamed of acquiring Greenland. William Seward, the same Secretary of State who bought Alaska, wanted it. Franklin D. Roosevelt and Harry Truman explored it. Why? Because even back then, Greenland was seen as the ultimate northern shield, the key to protecting North America from threats across the Atlantic and the Arctic. Fast forward to today, and that old strategic dream has collided with a new era of great power rivalry. Greenland's geography is unmatched. It sits directly on the shortest missile path between Russia and the United States. That's why the US operates the Gaddafi space base there, a critical early warning system for missile launches and space surveillance. As Arctic ice melts, new shipping lanes are opening between Asia and Europe. Whoever controls Greenland controls the gateway to these emerging Arctic trade routes. And in the words of President Trump, "When we own it, we defend it." You don't defend leases the same way. This isn't just about territory, it's about controlling the northern approach to the entire Western Hemisphere. Now let's talk about what's beneath the ice. Greenland holds massive, untapped deposits of rare earth minerals, the building blocks of modern technology. We're talking gallium, zinc, uranium, graphite, copper, nickel, cobalt, and gold. These minerals power everything from electric vehicles to semiconductors to artificial intelligence. And right now, China dominates the global supply chain, controlling up to 70% of mining and 90% of processing. For the US, securing Greenland's resources isn't just economic strategy, it's national security. It's technological survival. Greenland is also the front line of a new geopolitical contest. Russia has spent years militarizing the Arctic. China calls itself a near-Arctic power and is building a polar Silk Road to reshape global trade routes. Both nations have tried to expand their influence in Greenland, including China's attempt to invest in Greenlandic airports. For Washington, the message is simple: we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. This is the Arctic version of the Cold War, and Greenland is the prize. Here's where the story turns from strategy to crisis. To pressure Denmark into negotiating, the US announced a 10% tariff on 8 European countries, set to rise to 25% if no deal is reached. Europe responded with unified outrage. France called the threats unacceptable. Sweden said, "We will not let ourselves be blackmailed." The UK warned that targeting allies undermines NATO itself. Because Denmark is a founding NATO member, any coercive move against its territory threatens Article 5, the core principle that an attack on one is an attack on all. Analysts warn that if one NATO ally tries to annex another's territory, the alliance could fracture, and that would reshape global security overnight. While diplomats argue, markets react. The US-EU dispute has already triggered volatility across global equities, currencies, and key industrial sectors. We're seeing immediate market dips after tariff announcements, short-lived relief rallies, smart money accumulation about a week later, currency pressure on the US dollar, which has already weakened against the euro. European automakers, luxury brands, and aerospace firms are exposed. US energy exporters, cloud computing giants, and aerospace companies face retaliation. This isn't just a political story, it's an economic shockwave. In times of geopolitical stress, investors look for safety. Gold remains the classic safe haven, especially when major currencies face political strain. But digital assets are emerging as a wildcard. On one hand, crypto can fall during risk-off markets. On the other, in a world where financial systems can be weaponized, decentralized assets become more attractive. And if the US dollar weakens, even dollar-pegged stablecoins lose purchasing power for global holders. This dispute is reshaping how investors think about safety. So what does all of this mean? Greenland is no longer a frozen afterthought. It's the center of a global power struggle, a collision of military strategy, rare earth minerals, Arctic dominance, and alliance politics. The US sees Greenland as essential for national security and technological leadership. Europe sees the US approach as a threat to NATO unity. China and Russia see opportunity in the chaos. The outcome of this dispute won't just shape the Arctic. It could redefine the global balance of power for decades. You've been watching BuzzOwl 9, where we break down the stories shaping our world. Want more? Be sure to select the next video.